Greetings, 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 good people. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Saturday. It is March 11th. The year is 2023, and it's a Saturday. So I wanted to come through, talk about some hot topics, share my thoughts, get your thoughts, and we can have our thoughts shared together and all that good stuff. Hopefully everybody had a good, productive week and you're relaxing and enjoying your weekend. I know I am. Ooh, hot topics are hot today. Tamika Scott from XSCAPE. Okay. Have you guys been watching SWV and XSCAPE'S reality TV show? It's good. It's good. Episode 1 premiered last week. Tomorrow, Sunday, episode 2 will be airing. Y'all got to get into it. I did do a review for episode 1, so make sure you check that out on YouTube, okay? This is streaming live on Twitch, so the Twitch viewers are getting this live and in living color first, and then this will be uploaded to my YouTube page. So shout out to my YouTube royal family members. All right, so I'm going to talk about Tamika Scott airing her sister out pretty much, basically, rightfully so, and I'm going to share my thoughts on that. LAMOR WHITEHEAD, the man that's going around calling himself a bishop, he actually sat down with Angela Yee for whatever reason, and he had an interview. He feels he's being set up, okay? I'm going to touch on that. Wendy Williams was spotted on the West Coast, okay, in Hollywood. So I'm going to touch on that briefly. Got some other hot topics sprinkled in between. Make yourself comfortable. Come on in, pay your admission fee, hit the like button, drop down in the comments, and share your thoughts. All right, so before we get to those juicy topics, I like to kind of keep those for the middle and the end of the broadcast. I saw this today on the Neighborhood Talk, okay? And I'm telling you something, this world isn't short of clownery and shenanigans, all right? So apparently a reporter, he tries to get an interview, from a man who was kind of being chased off by the cops. All right, let's take a look and a listen at this, y'all. We're going to start this off on a light note, all right? Like to hear it? Here you go.
Spoke to you, we knew that Memphis police were saying that at least 4 people had been shot. Since then, they now confirmed to Fox 13 that 2 of those people shot are dead. Of the other 2, they say, have been transported to hospitals. Let me step out of the shot, my photographer. We got something going on here, as you can see, unfolding now on your screen. A gentleman running through the crime scene. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but typically police do not appreciate people, as you can imagine, going through crime scenes. I'm going to see if I can ask him, what's going on? What are you doing?
Man, fuck what you talking about, man.
You heard it. He said, what you talking about? Now, I don't know why this man was running through the crime scene. Maybe he knew one of the victims. Maybe he had something to do with it. Lord only knows, okay? But unfortunately, there were fatalities in this incident, and the reporter was just really trying to do his job. I don't know what made him think that a man trying to run away from the cops kind of chasing him away from the crime scene would actually stop and talk to him. He would be a fool to stop and talk to the reporter, if you ask me. So I ain't mad at him. So hopefully there'll be some sort of update as to what really happened, what took place. Hopefully the victims' families can get some sort of resolution from the incident that happened, okay? But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting, all right? All right, up next. On the Today Show the other day, Idris Alba was a guest on the Today Show. Now, he is a married man now, okay? So, you know, I'm going to control myself, but he is a very, very handsome man, in my opinion. So there was a woman who is a fan of Idris Alba, and she stood outside of the Today Show studios with her husband just to meet Idris. And this is what happened. Like to hear it? Here you go.
Is the first person here, Hoda? Is it Kelly? Okay, Kelly and Sean. All you just got to do is wave. Idris, they're right over here.
What's up? How are you?
She was here at what, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Really?
Yes, to see you.
You came this morning to see me?
Yes.
And does she not have the greatest husband in the world?
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
I want to give you a hug. Is that possible?
Oh my God.
Of course it is.
Come on. Let's do
Come
this.
on over.
Yeah, let's do this. Now, are you really cold?
Quickly. He said quickly.
Man, what's up? How are you? Wow, so nice to meet you. What's up, brother? How are you? I'm very good. How are you? Wow.
You love Idris?
Absolutely,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
we'll get a picture in a little bit. See, it was worth coming this early, right?
Oh, yes.
And you're a good husband.
Thank you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you. Happy International Women's Day as well.
Thank you. I admire your work so much.
Thank you very much.
You're the best.
Yes, you are.
I love how the reporter is acknowledging the husband, saying how he's such a good husband for allowing his wife to lust after Idris Alba and not feel embarrassed. I like how she played that off. That was real slick. She's smart. She's smart. You a good woman, sis. You a good woman. All right. Also, speaking of Idris Alba, his name is being thrown in the ring for possibly being a part of the Black Panther franchise. I would totally be here for it, to be honest with you. He should have been in Black Panther 2, if you ask me. He is a very esteemed actor. He is good at what he does. And I've always been a supporter of Idris Alba. Okay. So during a recent promotional interview, the English film star shared his enthusiastic opinion about potentially being cast in the Black Panther franchise. He says that he is a fan of Black Panther. He is a fan of Ryan Coogler. He got an opportunity to kind of be behind the scenes with Ryan Coogler and see him at work. He was asked by an interviewer if he was aware that his name was often mentioned by the current cast when asked who they'd like to see added. Idris Alba, obviously surprised by the comment, he responded, "Really, really? Wow, I did not know that." Okay, continuing, the actor, he revealed that he is actually a big fan of the series, sharing his amazement watching director Ryan Coogler during some behind-the-scenes footage of the Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Okay, he also stated, "I'm a big fan of Ryan. I'm a big fan of everyone on that film, but Ryan is a big draw. So if there was ever an opportunity for me to join the franchise, absolutely." I remember when people were mentioning his name for him to be like the Black James Bond. And, you know, he was flattered by the compliment, but of course they didn't go with him. I think if he was going to be like a James Bond, I would like to see a new character created just for him to play, and they could turn, you know, whatever character that would have been into a large franchise. You know, I'm not really a big fan of like the Black Superman or the Black. Create a whole new character for these actors if you want to see more Black actors in lead roles, okay? But don't call Idris Alba a Black actor, okay? Remember, he denounced that title. He just wants to be respected and acknowledged as an actor. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. It's sometimes there's too many politics in certain things where it doesn't need to be, okay? He's an artist. So art has no color, gender, none of that other stuff. And I know some people were in an uproar, but I understood exactly what he meant. But if he was to join Black Panther in any fast, I would like to see him in a lead role, to be honest with you. Okay. I would be excited, and I definitely would support. Who the heck could he have been? He could have been in Black Panther 2. Did you guys watch Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever? He definitely could have been casted in that role. I won't give it away because not everybody has seen it, but very disappointed. Anywho, you guys remember last week and earlier this week, well, this week actually, Porsha Williams was the guest co-host on the Breakfast Club, right? And she had a lot of things to say about a lot, all right? She's good at what she does. She definitely has a good personality, fun personality for TV and also for radio. She was on Dish Network. What I didn't like about Porsha, okay, is that she actually came for my girl Tamron Hall. She basically said that Tamron Hall made her feel uncomfortable. So I guess Porsha is not accustomed to real live journalism and how journalists act and behave. DJ Envy co-signed a lot of what she said. Even Charlemagne chimed in and tried to say that because Wendy Williams is not on daytime television, he feels that Tamron Hall is trying to fill that void, which is a bunch of malarkey, all right? If you can't take the heat, stay out the kitchen. In my opinion, when Porsha was on Tamron Hall years ago, she thought that she was going to be coddled, and Tamron Hall had a job to do, okay? Can you imagine if she sat down with Barbara Walters or Mike Wallace? Child, that's going far back. They don't know nothing about them interviewers, honey. Everybody, a lot of people are used to, especially reality TV stars, some of them are not used to being in a hot seat. They're used to being coddled, or they're used to being, you know, on a stage with all of their castmates, and maybe they're the favorite and they get pacified. No, Tamron Hall is a journalist. She's a professional. She's going to ask the questions that the people want to know. Okay, she's going to ask some quote unquote uncomfortable questions. But if you're strong in your spot, like I said in my commentary, you shouldn't have a problem. Okay, what am I getting at? So apparently, Porsha had a hard time trying to pronounce the word reciprocity. And in my opinion, instead of worrying about what Tamron Hall was doing, you should have been worrying about how to pronounce the words on the paper that they give you before you go on air. Angela Yee would have been very privy to the word reciprocity, and she would have enunciated it perfectly. All right, let's see if I can play this. Let's see what Portia's giving.
No, no.
That ain't it.
Look
That
at it.
ain't
Come
it.
look at it. Come look. What did
Goodness gracious.
they do right now?
Reposado.
Charlamagne gonna say reposado.
Not reposado.
Reciprocity.
That's all right. We're gonna let that
Envy couldn't even pronounce the damn word. My God.
go. But basically, if you can do it, I can do it. All right. But we're gonna keep on with the quote. Now she took a shot at the word. All right. Now he said, if you can have that, it's only fair that I can have it too.
She was talking about Monique and her no longer wanting to entertain the open marriage. Okay. This was a fun moment. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to read a script, okay, that the radio station is so kind to type and print out for you, don't you read over stuff before? Like, was I the only kid that when it was your turn to read, you knew that you had this paragraph coming up? All right, you counted how many people was ahead of you. You knew, all right, so this is going to be my paragraph. And then you kind of read and see, okay, how you pronounce this word. That way, when you're called upon, you basically sound like a top scholar in your class. Was I the only one that did that in grammar school? Maybe. Okay. Someone in the comments typed, had she listened to Lauryn Hill's first album, that word wouldn't have had her in a chokehold. Okay. First of all, Lauryn Hill doesn't have any other albums, but I get what it is that you're saying. All right.
Want to continue. She said she wanted to. Sydney had one thing he had to teach me, and that was this word right here is killing me.
I remember reading this article. She's reading an excerpt from an article, and I remember reading. I talked about Monique on the previous Hot Topics video.
This
Reciprocation?
reciprocity.
Let me see, Porsha.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
It's a bit. It's
Reciprocity?
Reciprocity. No.
That ain't it.
Enunciate, sis. Enunciate. See, had you been cool with Tamron Hall, she could have taught you a thing or two. Reciprocity. Say it with me, people. Reciprocity. All right. You should have read through your notes before you came on, Porsha. But that's so on brand for Porsha. I like Porsha, but I just didn't like what she had to say about Tamron Hall and what she said about how she invalidated Angela Yee's experience at the Breakfast Club. But that's neither here nor there, right? She's gone. All right. Up next, boy, I tell you, down in Florida, it's always something. This is wild, okay? So this is as per the neighborhood talk. This is crazy. A Florida man allegedly assaulted a pregnant woman that he met on a dating app. There's so many things wrong here, but whatever. A Florida man has been arrested and charged regarding an alleged assault. Okay, you see the word. I'm not saying it for a specific reason, all right? This is going up on YouTube. We got to be careful what we say. Assault against a pregnant woman, according to Where News. The incident occurred back in March 2022, a week after the victim and suspect, Whew, that Porsha rubbing off on me. All right, let's start from the top. The incident occurred back in March 2022, a week after the victim and suspect had been communicating on the app Tagged. Have you guys heard of this app called Tagged? Now, this is according to a report. 30-year-old DeAndre Pritchett met with the woman as she stated she had a room for them. While they were speaking to each other on the bed, Pritchett, DeAndre, he allegedly forced himself onto the woman and she began to push him off. The victim contacted Pensacola EMS after she began to bleed from the lower part of her body, as she was also 11 weeks pregnant. The county deputies eventually located DeAndre after he fled the scene using surveillance footage and photos from the quote-unquote tagged account. Have you guys heard of this app called Tagged? He's currently being held on a $40,000 bond and can be punished for up to 30 years for his first-degree felony. So they're asking, is 30 years just for the crime? Yeah, why not? What first of all, there's a whole lot wrong with this. I don't care if it comes across as judgy, whatever. Call it what you want. Why? Not only are you putting yourself in danger, ma'am, you're putting your unborn child in danger as well. Okay, was this was money exchange? Is like, what's going on? Sometimes people do questionable things because they're in desperate positions. You never know. Okay. This is crazy. He definitely should be locked up. And she started bleeding from the lower part of her body. So are they trying to say that you know what happened? I don't know. It's very vague, but we don't need specifics. That's fine. Yeah, why not? Throw him in jail for 30 years. He'll have plenty of time to assault. He'll have plenty of people to assault in jail. Okay. Yes, throw him in jail. And sis, are you nuts? What is really going on? Why are you putting yourself in this dangerous position? What's really happening? That's really, really scary. Really scary. Drop down in the comments and share your thoughts, y'all. I'm telling you, it's just this, everybody's just getting weirder and weirder, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys remember this story. There was a woman who was a daycare owner, right? And she popped her husband, rightfully so, who was accused of being inappropriate with the children that she cared for, that were under her care. Well, she's in jail. Okay. And I know a lot of people in the comments were writing that they want to put money on her books, rightfully so. She's a hero, in my opinion. Let's take a look and a listen to what she had to say.
We were both supposed to be on this crusade of saving children.
Tell me what you were thinking when you shot him.
These kids was under my care.
Right.
Parents tell a daycare owner that her husband is molesting their kids, so she shoots him.
I trusted my husband fully. We were both.
That is absolutely positively insane. Okay. You trust the daycare worker. The daycare owner is taking care of your children. And you wouldn't even think, some people wouldn't even think that the daycare owner's spouse would do any harm to the children. Well, one little girl actually went home and told her mother what was happening to her at the hands of this guy, to which the mother came and told the daycare owner, this lady here. She confronted the man, okay? And before she confronted him, she found out there were other incidences of the same thing. So I guess she did her own little mini investigation. And when she came in contact with him, she popped him. I mean, to be quite honest with you, she helped law enforcement out a lot. Like, what are we doing here? So she's sitting in jail. I think she's going to be serving, 4 years or something like that. And the husband, he's been hit with 33 counts of, you see it there on the screen. Hey, Funky Daniva's in the comments. Shout out to Funky Daniva. He says some sort of legal exception should be made for her. I agree with that. Perhaps they sentence her, then she gets a presidential pardon. That, in a perfect world, yes. But in instance like this, protecting children from a predator by any means, he didn't die. Luckily, he didn't die. Lucky for him anyway, he didn't die, right? So yes, I do feel that there should be some sort of exception, because in the event that she didn't take any action, the parents could have brought up charges against her. Although, she says she has no knowledge of it. Let's just assume for the sake of the argument, she didn't. She had no knowledge of this. It's her establishment and the kids are under her care. You have ruined this woman's reputation. You have scarred these children for life, scarred their parents for life. You know what I mean? Yeah, some sort of exception definitely should be made for instances like this. But in a perfect world, man, in a perfect world, I really hope that the people who are interested in putting money on her books, I'm pretty sure they're going to find out where she's located. They're going to be putting money on her books and taking care of her. I really feel like maybe pay for some legal counsel for her to appeal her sentencing. It's just, yeah, man. We got to stop locking up people who are doing justice out here, okay? Y'all gonna learn to leave these kids alone. This is another story. Okay, Maryland mother, she's arrested after going up to a middle school and allegedly assaulting a 12-year-old girl accused of bullying her daughter. If this is true, what the hell is the problem? So according to the New York Post, the incident went down at a middle school, and the woman, she's 41, she walked into her daughter's school with her daughter during the morning hours, and she headed to her classroom instead of the office. Okay, once inside the classroom, she allegedly approached her daughter's bully. A verbal confrontation ensued, and at one point, she placed the mother, she placed her hands on the child, grabbing the child in an effort to continue the conversation. Okay. Ultimately, a teacher was able to intervene, and police said that the mother left a pretty nice size red mark and bruise on the girl's arm. The student who was attacked, the student who was the bully, basically the bully, the father of the bully, was shocked when he got the call about the incident. Okay, the biggest concern was how quickly she got into the school. She bypassed the office, and then she got a direction location of where the daughter was, where my daughter was. This is what the father is saying. She could have had a weapon. She could have had anything. And that was the most frightening part about it. Who you should be pissed off at is the school, because I'm pretty sure that there were reports of this girl bullying this woman's daughter and nothing was done. Just recently, I gave an update. Just the other day, I gave an update about that 6-year-old boy in Newport News, Virginia, who brought a gun to school and shot his teacher. Just the day before that, he was supposed to be suspended because he did what? He broke the teacher's phone. He cussed out the staff, administration, and he also choked out another teacher to the point where the teacher, quote unquote, almost passed out. So a lot of these schools, they're very much aware of certain things that go down. And for this woman to take matters into her own hands, she probably was fed up. Y'all better teach y'all kids, don't go to school being no bully, because you have mamas like this. I say this all the time. Leave these kids alone. And honestly, I don't fault the mother. I don't fault the mother. As parents, we are going to protect our children at all costs. At all costs. And the school should be held liable. Do you know how many kids take their lives? How many kids take their lives? Young children who probably can't even spell the word suicide. Do you know how many of them take their lives because they're being bullied at school? And unfortunately, some of these teachers don't care because they don't get paid enough to care. Some of these teachers, their hands are tied because administration doesn't want them to do, take matters into their own hands and actually, put in place some sort of disciplinary, action. Administration don't care. Teachers can lose their job if something happens. So the school is to blame for this. The mother should actually sue the school for her daughter being bullied. Y'all better leave these kids alone. And the father who was acting so stunned and shocked, don't act like your daughter is innocent. Why is your daughter going around bullying somebody? And this is middle school. It gets worse when it gets to high school. See, these type of things are glorified. These kids, they glorify bullying each other. They put everything on Snapchat. They put everything on the internet. And administration turns a blind eye to it. How does a 6-year-old brings a gun to school, shoots the teacher? And the staff was aware that the student had the gun on the premises and did nothing about it. Y'all gonna have a lot more instances of these parents taking matters into their own hands. I remember the father rolled up on the bus. His daughter, who was special needs, was being harassed and assaulted. People were putting their hands on the little girl. The father rolled up and did what he had to do. Y'all better leave kids alone. I've been saying that a lot lately. I don't know why everybody is losing their mind thinking that they can put their hands on kids and do all types of crazy things to kids. These are desperate times we living in, and people are fed the F up. So you better talk. This man, the father who was stunned, he better talk to his daughter and find out why is his daughter bullying anybody else. And also the school needs to be addressed and called out too, because I'm pretty sure that there were complaints made. Shout out to you, mama. Y'all better leave kids alone. Leave kids alone. If y'all won't discipline them, somebody will. And I'm not condoning violence. I mean, she might not, she shouldn't have put her hands on the little girl. However, I always say this too. When it comes to people's children, all gloves are, you better stop. Y'all better stop this. Y'all think that people are going to be sane when it comes to their kids' lives being in danger or their kids being harmed or hurt? No, Mama Bear is going to snap. You go near a lion cub if you want to. Go ahead, go near a lion cub and see what the mama lion do to you, the lioness do to you. Never mind the lion. See what the lioness will do to you. Y'all gonna learn. So shout out to mama. I'm sure she posted bail. All right, y'all. So you guys have you guys heard about the individuals who traveled to a specific part of Mexico, and two of the four, well, it's being reported that there were actually 5 of them that actually went to Mexico, but 4 of them were traveling, and 2 of the men their lives were taken. So there was a woman and 3 men, but there was also another woman who was at a hotel and she didn't go with it, something like that. Somebody went to go have a tummy tuck, and then there were 2 fatalities, right? So people have been talking about what's been going down in Mexico, and apparently it's obviously in certain areas it is not safe to travel. Now, as far as that particular story, I just don't even want to touch that story because it just links to so many other things. It's just a mess. So if you're keeping up with it, then you know what I'm talking about, right? But this I saw on Instagram. Shout out to Chronicle Speaks. Okay, this was posted to her Instagram. You guys know who the rapper Chameleon is? I know Chameleon, Riding Dirty Chameleon, but this is Chameleon, a female rapper. Well, apparently she was riding through Mexico and she was accosted by the cartel. Child, this is absolutely scary. All right, so let's take a look and a listen at this video.
That's my. I don't have any drugs. So I can give you what I have. I don't have. That's crazy. They're trying to hustle us. We ain't got no drugs in the car, and they trying to make us pay $1,500. I'm not. Drugs in there.
I think he said no phone in, like no recording. So the caption reads, this is her page, It's Chameleon. She looks like Megan Thee Stallion, like Young Miami kind of. I have no idea who this particular rapper is. This is footage of me and my crew in Mexico. The cartel pulled us over, saw money in our bags, and tried to collect money, or they said that they were taking us away. They took $1,500 from the stylist and asked, where's the rest? I hid mine, but they kept asking for more. Scary stuff. Seeing the tragedies unfold in the media when I came back of people being killed, I feel so blessed. I'm never going to Mexico again. Literally my worst trip ever. Police cartel is different. It's crazy. I was told that they're associated with the cartel and kidnapping tourists and extort money.
What you say?
No.
What happened?
No, see.
What you say?
This is when they're pulling them over, searching them.
What you say?
That's wild. That's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So apparently the individuals who were in the news recently who went over to Mexico, it's being reported that the woman was supposed to be having some sort of tummy tuck surgery or what have you, and they drove into a bad part of Mexico. They were lost. They were trying to get directions to go to the actual facility where she was going to have the procedure done, and they got pulled over by these men. The Mexican cartel basically wrote an apology letter, and they turned in these 5 men saying, listen, this is not how we do things. You know, we're turning them in. We don't want any problems. The whole story is just wild. Whether it's true or not, who knows? You know, strange things like this can absolutely happen, but it's really unfortunate. And then 2 people lost their lives. And then the other 2, I'm pretty sure that they're extremely traumatized. Now, there was a 5th person. There was a woman, and she was doing an interview with Anderson Cooper, but she was just, I don't know, she was frazzled. I don't know if she was lying. It was just very hard for me to keep up. I'm impatient. sometimes when it comes to things like that, and if I sense like, girl, you all over the place, I don't even want to hear this anymore. So I caught a snippet of it. I didn't even watch the whole thing, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that more information is going to come out as the days go by. Ugh, yikes, man. It's very, very scary. Okay, up next, Wendy Williams. Okay. OK Magazine exclusively reports that Wendy Williams turns heads in black leather shorts, a pink t-shirt, and white boots as she proudly stands next to her Hollywood Walk of Fame star. Okay, so Wendy Williams was in New Jersey. Then she, took a flight over to the West Coast, and she got them fuzzy boots on, child, and her Daisy Dukes. She ain't leaving those behind. So Wendy Williams has been out and about quite a bit, right? Like last month, she was out and about in New York on the scene. And this entire month, there's been multiple Wendy Williams spottings, and I'm definitely going to be keeping up with Wendy. Okay, how you doing? So, in exclusive photos obtained by OK, the former host of the Wendy Williams show, turned heads while making a visit to her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Thursday, March 10th in LA. All right, so look at Wendy. She looked chic. She got her Daisy Duke shorts on. She ain't giving those up. See, these are leather. She normally wears the denim ones. And boy, oh boy, she got these boots in like every color. Wendy need a stylist. But you know what? I'm glad that she's out and about and seemingly in her right mind. And I'm pretty sure that she feels very accomplished. She probably got to remind herself who she is. She had to see that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame to remind herself, like, I'm Wendy. You know what I'm saying? I'm the queen of media. I'm the queen of talk, So she said, this is what it's all about. I've worked hard in my career, and seeing these staples of my hard work ensures that my legacy will live on forever. This is what she says in a statement about seeing her star, where she was swarmed by adoring fans. And I do love the fact that when she's out, people are coming up to her and showing her love. No one is kind of like attacking her or anything like that, despite her reputation of kind of outing people. I don't know. I just don't want to see anybody suffer or do bad. You know what I mean? So her publicist basically said the same thing. Apparently this podcast is still supposed to be happening. I'll believe it when I see it. So there is your Wendy Williams update. I hope she's really taking care of herself. She's had to overcome a lot. I say that often. But you never know unless you go through it. Being on the outside, if you're compassionate enough and you're empathetic, you'll understand like it's a lot for her. But until you go through it, and like I said last time I did an update, somebody remind Kevin, you ain't getting no more Wendy Williams money. It's over. All right. So shout out to Wendy. I hope she continues to do well. Okay. All right. Up next, this guy, man. This guy, Lamor Whitehead, I refuse to acknowledge him as a bishop. I've said it before in previous commentary. He sat down with Angela Yee. Now, Angela Yee, I know that your show is new, girl, and you kind of want to get guests coming on. But this right here seems beneath you, okay? You have skin in the game. You're experienced in radio, in media. You're a businesswoman. You're a professional. This really seems beneath you. I don't know who I would expect to interview this guy, but not Angela Yee on her show. He's on New York radio. Let's take a look and a listen, y'all. Ugh.
Says, but you were trying to extort him for money.
So I was, now that I understand what's going on, I was set up. This guy that you just spoke of is a known con man. And it's so crazy to me. Yes, he's a white man. He's a white man. And it's crazy to me how the media is protecting him. Nobody's talking about him. Nobody. And if everybody can Google me, all you got to do is Google him. And you guys are going to see it all come out that I was set up. That this whole story and this whole narrative was set up because you're going to find out that there's a whole lot of paperwork going around that he's a whistleblower. And what the streets are telling me now since he did that is, he's a known informant. And I didn't know him. I don't know him. I knew him. I met him probably, he fixed my wife's car. He asked me to rent one of my.
You don't know him, but you met him. He fixed your wife's car. Man, all I ask is that you get this fool out of my state. All right. He's living in New Jersey up in Bergen County with all types of fraud charges. Get him out of my state. That's all I ask. If somebody is an informant, you dummy, of course they're going to set you up. Where is his lawyer? I guarantee his lawyer is that white lady with the platinum blonde hair. She's been with him at she's been pictured with him at these little bootleg press conferences that he used to do or what have you. I guarantee that his lawyer probably told him, don't do this interview. Don't say nothing. Stop speaking about this. You have an open cases. You were just arrested. You got open cases. Here's what I don't understand. People like this pay lawyers to write statements for them, to represent them, to speak on their behalf, to give them legal advice, only for you not to take. I guarantee that his lawyer probably told him not to do this interview. I guarantee it, because she ain't there. So you paying your I should have been a lawyer, because a lot of these clients probably don't even listen. And they do what they want to do. Good. Do what you want to do. Just make sure. He would have to pay me cash. Now, you couldn't write me a check and no Cash App, none of that. And we going to count the bills. We're going to actually inspect the bills. Pablo and them going to inspect the bills in the back. Okay? While you sit in the lobby and have something to drink. And then we can have our meeting. Every time you meet with me, you got to pay me cash. And we going to inspect that money. This guy is a clown. Do you see his eyes moving every which way all over the place? Angela, what moved you to have this guy in the studio? Did everybody have to put their purses up? This dude is a clown.
So he owns an auto body shop.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he owns an auto body shop.
Yes, and he was probably paid by the FBI to be a snitch. So why do we need to Google him? He's doing his job. You're an idiot.
Shop, and he fixed my wife's car. He overheard me being to real estate. He told me he's in the real estate, and he made me a project.
Sir, an informant's job is to set you up and catch you in your lies. If he's working with the feds, dumb, he's not doing anything. If he's an informant, he's not doing anything illegal. He caught you doing stuff illegal. Ooh, this man, he's slow.
And listen, I just got through running for borough president. 2 years ago? Nobody bothered me. The feds didn't bother me. Nobody bothered me. Now, all of a sudden,
this guy's not even pleading his innocence. He's not even saying, I didn't do this. He's basically saying somebody snitched. This guy set me up. Oh, Lord.
This white man set me up, and he's setting me up. And at the end of the day, so with all of these things that's coming out, right? Everybody's saying, well, the Fed's conviction rate is 98%. True. However, if it's based off of a lie, then what?
So why would that?
If the feds are investigating, someone wrote in the comments, it's wise to lay low and off the internet. This is why I said this guy is slow. You know what this is? Angela Yee, you working with the feds? Because why would you even take this interview? You know what this is? This is people who will do anything. This is an example of people who will do anything. Anything. They will sell the skin off their bones for attention. They will lie, cheat, steal, rob. They will get, as long as people are paying them attention. See, this is the worst thing for somebody like him, but it's a good thing for somebody for an entity like the feds, because he's just going to make himself look worse. But for his brain, his warped mind, this is like he's on a high right now. Why? He is sitting before Angela Yee. Millions of people are going to see and hear his voice through the airwaves of the tri-state area, New York radio, internet. Everyone is going to see and hear him. They're going to know his name. They're going to see what he looks like. They're going to hear the sound. In his warped mind, this is a win for him. This is sick. He's sick. He's obviously sick. The worst thing that you can do for somebody like this who will go to great lengths and desperate measures to get attention is to give them attention. That's why when you ignore people like this, I'm talking about when you ignore them, they will go to extreme measures to get your attention. Go to they'll get violent. They'll try to get other people involved. They'll get other people to try to get attention from other people through. You have to know how to ignore people like this. And this is the worst thing for his warped mind. But like I said, it's a good thing for the feds. I refuse to acknowledge this human as a bishop. And I know people call him Bishop Whitehead. His name is Lamor Whitehead. Okay. All right. Up next, speaking of crack, Boosie. Did you guys see this? Boosie says that he'd rather people do crack than fentanyl because crackheads have been around for years and never died, but fentanyl kills you almost immediately. He said this fentanyl-ish is different. I'd much rather crack. Now, this is a Vlad TV interview, and I'm not going to play this because, you know, his content is copywritten. But why is Boosie always at Vlad? Like, why? He gets paid a handsome amount probably for these interviews, right? How about don't do drugs at all? I mean, I get what he's trying to say, but because it's coming from Boosie, it's just everything that he says is just like, oh gosh, you know, you couldn't put no tact on that. But why? He's at Vlad a lot. He's at Vlad a lot. He basically said in the interview, like, when have you ever seen a crackhead take a hit of crack and then die in an instant? He said he still communicates with crackheads from 30 years ago. He grew up seeing crackheads, and crackheads is still alive. How about just stay away from crack, Vincent? Stay away from all that ish. No? Maybe that could be the message. I thought Boosie loved the kids. That's the message you sending out? I don't know. Don't listen to Boosie, kids. Don't listen to any of these rappers. A lot of them are weird. All right, I did a separate video about this. Y'all was roasting Why y'all was roasting Young Miami like that? Young Miami was on BMF. She played the character Deanna, and a lot of y'all wasn't seeing it for her. A lot of y'all didn't like her. So some of y'all took to social media, Twitter, and y'all was roasting her. Y'all said that she looked like she about to sing a slow song in a Disney movie. Why? She looked gorgeous though in this scene. She looked nice. But I just do think that she needs to work on her acting. You know, it's nothing to kind of beat her down about. And like I said in my previous commentary, she has to take the criticism because this is a field that you want to be in. You're going to be criticized. People talk about you. You should be used to this by now, Carisha. People talk about you saying that you can't rap. You should be used to this criticism. I don't think that she's taking it as harshly as it appears online. She did kind of answer some people back. I think she probably was prepared for it. But if this is what you want to do, then you just gotta tighten up, sis. It wasn't the best performance, especially this scene when she found out that her husband, Ty Young, got killed, and whatever the other character name is, came and brought her chain. I don't watch the show. I just saw clips of the scenes that she was in. And yes, we're not used to seeing Carisha in a more serious role. I think that's what it is. So it's kind of like off-putting, especially because we know she plays around a lot and she just has such a bubbly, fun, outgoing personality. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't good. This scene wasn't good. I laughed. I did laugh too. She didn't find it funny. She didn't like being laughed at, but it's not the first time you've been laughed at, girl. Take it on the chin and tighten up your acting. If you want to do acting, you want to be taken seriously in these serious roles, then do what the professionals do and perfect your craft and take acting classes. That's it. LMAO, they on Facebook talking about this episode was worse than Tubi. Just that Carisha part. They got Carisha on this episode of BMF, and it's giving Tubi movie. I think Carisha didn't do that bad. My sis just need a little more practice. Yeah, see? And people like her. She has the advantage of being likable. So people are going to extend grace. Some people are going to extend a little more grace to her than they would someone else, right? The problem isn't Carisha acting. I think it's the genre. She gives girly rom-com. That's good. Not drama series. Carisha got to play characters closer to her because I swear, in You People, I was cracking up. That's a good critique. See, that's a good critique. Carisha, please. Who was Carisha acting coach? Jocelyn Hernandez? Lord have mercy. Y'all are ruthless. I don't know about y'all, but I don't mind seeing Carisha on my TV screen. Y'all got Carisha Brownlee effed up. She ripped her scene. See? People like her, so it's a mix. Not Carisha P. Henderson cleared. No, Carisha, you still cute. It's just your fake blank crying scene that had me surprised. Yeah. Her acting was cute, but it's just this particular scene. It was like, girl, I didn't take it seriously. I was getting emotional till Carisha started crying. So, yeah. So some people showed support. Some people was laughing. She said that it wasn't funny. It's all right, Carisha. Get over it. She's a good sport, though. So I think she'll be all right. She'll be all right. And if she's going to be on the next couple of episodes, I'm pretty sure the ratings are going to be through the roof because people are going to want to tune in to laugh at her innocently, you know, and then some people who are haters, they're going to watch because, you know, people who claim that they can't stand somebody, they watch them a lot. It's weird. Society's backwards these days. Speaking of backwards, this Ralph and Drew divorce situation, it's just going to get nasty. Now, apparently it's being rumored that filming has picked back up, so I guess that they can include Drew Sidora filing for divorce. They can include that in the season. That means the season must be very boring, okay? Because to my understanding, I think they wrapped filming, but they're going to be adding more scenes. Yeah, that means that the season probably had to be very, very boring. Now, are they doing this for a storyline? Could they be doing this for a storyline? I wouldn't put it past them, okay? So it looks like things are getting a little bit nasty. Ralph is clapping back and he's saying that he's denying all these allegations of cheating on Drew, being physical with her. He says that he's not a serial cheater and he's never put his hands on her, okay? So it was previously reported that that Drew wants Ralph to pay for all of the checks that he ran up while trying to wine and dine his side pieces with her money, allegedly. Now, Ralph is fighting back these allegations, claiming that none of this is true and that he and Drew just grew apart. He said he hopes to resolve the divorce in an amicable fashion and work to preserve the sanctity of the parties' private lives. Ralph also denies getting physical with Drew at all. In the counterclaim of to the divorce, Ralph is asking the courts for joint custody of their kids because they have no signs of reconciliation. And he even asked the judge to kick Drew out of their house. All right. Now, apparently there was some debt that was racked up during their marriage. And Drew is like, well, whatever debt Ralph racked up, he got to pay. Ralph is not wanting to pay alimony. It seems like it's getting messy. If you watch the show, then you see how they kind of interacted. It just seems like he did not like her. So I'm leaning more toward this is a storyline until I see otherwise. And I do think that this is going to drive up the interest of people watching Housewives of Atlanta because it was dwindling last season. It was like, you know, the ratings have not been the best, okay? So yeah, this is definitely going to be a ratings booster, especially if they're going to be adding scenes showing Drew filing for divorce and going through this and talking about her divorce with Ralph. It's going to drive up ratings. I'm going to be watching. I'll tune in. I'll definitely tune in. Last season and the season before that was like, I guess. But yeah. Is Sheree coming back? Is Sheree coming back to Housewives of Atlanta with her She by Sheree? She actually got stuff on her website. You guys purchase anything from She by Sheree? Child, I can't. Good luck to Ralph and Drew though. But I'm starting to believe that this is for a storyline. All right, speaking of storyline, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Hold on, let me get this together here. Let me get this together. Let me find my picture. Oh, it's not even here. Do I have the photo? All right. Xscape Escape. Okay, Escape and SWV, they actually have a reality TV show, and it is pretty good, okay? The first episode aired last week, and episode 2 will be airing tomorrow on Sunday, okay? At the time that I'm recording this video, it is Saturday, so tomorrow is Sunday. Don't forget that it is daylight savings time, ladies and gentlemen, so you might want to forward your clocks. Don't forget. Anyway, set your clocks forward, I should say. Okay. So Tamika Scott and Latasha Scott are sisters, and the drama has already unfolded in episode 1. Okay. Tamika took to social media. She actually took to her. She has a YouTube page, and she was sitting around talking about her side of the story, which we've kind of heard throughout the years. We've heard that there's been some static between the group members, and it really unfolded on episode 1, where Tamika accused Latasha of stealing her money, and I believe her. All right, so let's take a look and a listen to a clip of what Tamika had to say. Like to hear? Here you go.
I just felt attacked, and the only way I could come out of that attack is to say, okay, you saying all these lies about me on TV. Let's talk about the truth. Let's talk about you stealing money from me, and I forgave you. I would have never brought it up. That was years ago. I never brought it up. I never got paid back. I had to pay taxes on it, and I hid it from my husband. So guess what? My husband knows now. So he's sitting, he probably like, dang, I can't even trust you. So your sister them stole. Because he's like, okay, our taxes are going crazy right now. What's going on with the taxes? I'm lying to my husband, protecting my sister. Never got the money back and had to pay taxes on the money. Only thing my mama said was, you don't know what she was going through at that time. That's what she said to me. It just got to the point where...
Let me tell you something now. Now, that was a scene from the show. I definitely can't pay that. Let me tell you something right now, okay? If you guys watch the episode, then you're familiar with what she is saying. Tamika has a YouTube channel, so it's a longer video. You can check it out on YouTube. But let me tell you something. When she said in the show, when she got into it, she went over to the mother's house, and they were there. The mother was co-signing the foolishness. The mother seems to be on Latasha's side. I think that the mother is very aware of the allegations that Tamika is making. This is exactly why she wanted those cameras cut off, and she wanted the cameras out of the house, because she does not like the fact that Tamika brought up this secret. Okay, you know how some people can be. Don't you let nobody know this, because it makes the family look bad. All right, well, you should be ashamed of yourself, Miss Gloria and Latasha. And Tamika stated that she still has the receipts, that the royalties that she was supposed to be getting, Latasha and her husband Rocky got those checks. They put it in some business account, and they were cashing it. I believe Tamika 3,000%. Okay, so she's kind of talking about it in detail on her channel. When Tamika said that she had to pay taxes on that money, I said, you know what? Enough is enough. Okay, let me tell you something. Family and relatives are two different things in my eyes. You can choose your family. Your relatives, you can't choose your relatives. I wouldn't give a darn what my mother says. If I found out that you was stealing over $30,000 from me, and I had to pay taxes on that money, you were hiding that information from your husband, so much so that now your husband looking at you side-eye, because now the taxes are going up. He's wondering what's really going on. You put your marriage in jeopardy, Tamika, for the sake of your sister. If you don't take her behind to court and demand that not only she pay you back the 30 grand or how much ever it is, plus interest, how the hell you paying taxes on money that you didn't get? Absolutely not. And I wouldn't care I don't care what my mother would have said. Because if she wanted a piece of Judge Judy or Judge Mathis's gavel, she could get a piece too. You have to teach people that you ain't the one to play with. The more that you sit around and pacify foolishness and let ish slide, people are going to try you. I wouldn't care if me and her had matching sandals from Jesus himself. I find out that you stealing money from me, trust me, we go into court, and if you have to go to jail, then you just might go to jail. And that will send shock waves, okay, to everybody. Don't play with me. That woman almost, her marriage was in jeopardy because, like she said, her husband looking at her like, now your husband looking at you, he probably can't trust you. He don't know what you doing with the money. And that could affect him also. For the sake of who? Your sister? I don't care. And like I said, if the mama wanted a piece of the gavel banging too, she could have got a piece of the gavel banging. Absolutely not. And since you still have the receipts, you need to take your sister to court. It's not too late. You either want a solution, Miss Tamika Scott, or you just want to vent. Either one is fine with me. But what I would suggest is take her ass to court and get your money back. You listen, you choose you wanted to act like a criminal, you and your husband, Latasha, then you're going to get treated like a criminal. Point blank, period. We need to stop. Like, we need to absolutely stop. What if Tamika's husband would have walked out on her and accused her of doing fraud? Y'all need to, sometimes it's not worth keeping your mouth shut about certain things. And whoever don't like it, you could tell them what part of your behind to kiss. Now, Tamika's doing her thing. She got her little cookbook and she doing her thing. That's not the point, though. That's money that you worked for, that you were entitled to. Absolutely not. I am not in agreement with her keeping hush about it. No. Only for the mama to turn around and still cause discourse between you and your sister, and that mother should be embarrassed and she should be ashamed. That's right, Tamika. Speak up for yourself and tell everybody. Shame all of them. Shame all of them, because what kind of woman, and I'm referencing the mother, what kind of woman would allow that, would be okay with that? You okay with your daughter being a crook and stealing from your other daughter? Why? Because they breaking you off with some hush money? Take her to court. Take her to court. Take her to court. That's your money. And it ticked me off because it's like, oh, you know, I was loyal to my sister. That's not loyal. That's not loyalty. You being foolish. God gave you good sense and you ain't using it. All of that, oh, well, no, let's protect her. Protect her from what? While she spends your money and you got to pay taxes on the money? That's foolish. And Tamika, you being foolish. That's not loyalty. That's foolish. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And since Latasha want to be a criminal, according to the IRS, she gonna have to pay taxes on her illegal activities, okay? The IRS wants you to know that if you steal property, that you must report its fair market value in your income in the year that you steal it, unless you return it to its rightful owner in the same year, okay? So income from illegal activities, such as money from dealing illegal drugs, must be included in your income. So if you out there prostituting, stealing from your sister, cashing checks that don't belong to you, you better report it to the IRS. Got Tamika paying taxes on money that she ain't even get. Tamika, you a fool. You an absolute fool. And I mean that with the utmost respect. Take her behind to court and get your money back. Like I said, I wouldn't care if she was sister, brother, uncle, niece, nephew. Don't play with me. That's the ultimate sign of disrespect, for you to take somebody else's money. And then for your mother to foolishly tell you you don't know what she's going through, you ask your sister for money. She probably would be willing to give it to you. You don't take something that don't belong to you. Don't play with me. I'm telling you right now, anybody that get a hold of anything, any checks or anything that I may have coming my way and we're related, you are going to jail, because I'm definitely going to sue you and I want my money back. And I don't care what anybody has to say. And if we never speak again, oh well. As long as I get my money plus interest, I will sleep lovely, because I don't tolerate what I wouldn't do to somebody. I would never do that to anyone. I would not. In my right mind, I would never do, unless somebody slip me something and I go crazy. That's the only way. But me, the real me, I would never do anything like that to anyone. So I damn sure ain't tolerating anybody doing that to me. And I don't care if we have the same DNA coursing through our veins. You gotta let people know. Don't play with you. And that's that on that. Ooh, the nerve, honey. The absolute nerve. That messed me up because I was like, are you kidding? You had to pay taxes on that money. Girl, your husband could have almost walked out on you. And for what? Moving along. Monique says that she is still awaiting a public apology from Oprah Winfrey after years-long feud with the talk show host. Now, do you guys think that Oprah should apologize to Monique? All right, let's dig into this article. This is as per the Jasmine brand. All right. As previously reported, Monique and media icon Oprah Winfrey haven't been on best of terms for a while now, and it seems that nothing has changed, okay? If you don't know, the beef between Monique and Oprah began brewing shortly after Monique's estranged family, I say relatives, but they wrote family here, appeared on an episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show. Initially, Oprah informed Monique that her older brother, Gerald Imes, would be appearing on the show to confess that he'd been inappropriate with his sister, Monique, as a child. The alleged inappropriate behavior commenced when Monique was only 7 and her brother was 13 and lasted for several years. Throughout Monique's career, she has opened up about the sensitive matter publicly, right? Now, upon Monique's sibling reaching out to Oprah for a spot on the daytime show, Oprah also invited Monique, but she declined, okay? So the brother who was inappropriate with her is going to be on the show. Oprah said, hey, Monique, why don't you come on the show? Monique said no. Now, despite her refusal to accompany her perpetrator on live television, Monique still decided to give Oprah the green light on her brother's visit. So Monique said, listen, you can go ahead and interview him, but I'm not coming on that stage. I'm not coming on the show, but you go ahead and interview him, right? But when the special aired on April 19th, 2010, Monique felt highly blindsided and betrayed to see her other brother, her mother, and father were a part of the broadcast as well. Now, according to Monique, she was not on speaking terms with her mother, and she knew that her relatives had only participated for monetary gain. You see how people are? In a recent interview, she said, me and my mother were not on good terms. We weren't even speaking. Then I see the show, and I can tell that my mother is trying to make $1. I know my family. Okay. Amid the Oprah Winfrey Show, Monique's brother, Steven, also said that the situation was, quote unquote, blown out of proportion. Wow. So her other brother, not the perpetrator, basically tried to say Monique was lying, pretty much. Wow. Okay. Following the premiere, Monique reportedly attempted to reach out to Winfrey to address the situation, but to no avail. She detailed, I reached out to everybody I could to try to get to Oprah. No, nothing. It just went dead. So due to Oprah's failure to return any of Monique's calls, Monique eventually saw her at an event in honor of fellow actress Lupita Nyong'o, is that how you say her last name? After everything went down. Allegedly, Monique expressed her discontentment with her parents' arrival on the Oprah Winfrey Show, but Oprah maintained that Monique's brother bombarded her by bringing them on set and offered an apology if she'd, quote, done anything to offend her. See that if, when you apologizing, ain't no if. Let's not do the ifs. Additionally, Monique's past quarrel with filmmaker Lee Daniels spilled into the feud during the promotional run for the 2009 Lee Daniels directed blockbuster Precious, in which Monique starred. Things went left after she opted not to attend the Cannes Film Festival. Apparently, Lionsgate's reluctance to pay Monique for her time, paired with her decision to spend downtime with her loved ones, influenced her move. So Monique wasn't doing no damn promotion for free, and I don't blame her. Okay, they got to get over it. Now, Oprah and Tyler Perry served on the producing committee. Monique later faulted Lee Daniels along with Oprah and Tyler Perry for labeling her, quote, difficult to work with, contributing to her feeling blackballed in the industry. Last year, Lee Daniels ultimately apologized to Monique for the part that he played by saying, "I'm sorry for hurting you in any way that I did. Monique was my best friend. Y'all think that Precious was just me. That was God working through both of us. And we're going to effing do it again. I love you. I love you. I love you." Okay, so he apologized to her on stage during one of her shows. Now, Monique has done a number of interviews elaborating on her elephants in the room with Tyler Perry and Winfrey, who she has relentlessly blamed for choosing to stay quiet throughout her injustice as a strong-minded, opinionated Black woman in Hollywood. When speaking of her choice to not meet negative with negative in a 2018 sit-down to promote A Wrinkle in Time, Oprah said to the interviewer, "It's a law that if you meet negative with negative, you will just have a combustive negative force of energy. You can't meet negative energy where it is. You have to rise above it. You have to transcend it. You have to be the light." Whatever, Oprah. You offended that woman. She explained to you exactly what her gripe was. For you to say, "If I offended you, I'm sorry." You didn't even take the opportunity to hear her out and to see why she would be upset. You basically brushed her off. But you had communication with her. You were able to get a hold of her when you wanted her to come on the show and sit across from her perpetrator. What in your right mind would make you think that she would want to do that for your ratings, right? You were callous and you were cold. And Monique has every right to get an apology. I think she does. She deserves an apology from Oprah. As it pertains to Tyler Perry, child, his skirt is already showing. Monique already recorded a conversation that she had with him where he admitted that she was blackballed in Hollywood and he's on her side. However, for the public, for his public image, he has to keep up appearances. That was revealed when Monique sat down with T.S. Madison on her show on Fox Soul. T.S. Madison confirmed that she heard the recording. I don't think Monique got nothing to lie about. So yeah, Tyler Perry, please, you can go ahead. So Monique is demanding and expecting apologies from both Oprah and Tyler. I mean, I don't think she's holding her breath. Is she deserving of an apology? Yes, she is, especially from Oprah. Oprah, who is, Miss Super Soul Sunday and forgiveness and all this other stuff. Now, Monique cussed Tyler Perry and Oprah out on stage a couple years ago during one of her sets. So maybe that's what Oprah meant when she said she's not meeting negative with negative. But Monique is hurting. Rightfully so. That's a very sensitive topic. That man, her other brother sat on your platform, Oprah, and said that Monique was blowing this out of proportion when her other brother was inappropriate with her. That is embarrassing. Just negating her experience. But whatever, child. I would say to Monique, don't hold your breath. I don't think she is. Lately, things have just been working out for Monique. She gets a lot of flack. She gets, beaten down a lot. She gets talked about negatively. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure she's grown over the years. Maybe at some point she was, quote unquote, difficult to work with, but maybe she's matured. She's probably learned her lessons as well. But negating somebody's experience or brushing somebody's experience aside, that is hurtful. And sometimes people lash out when they're hurt. So, she cussed Oprah out and she cussed Tyler Perry out. And what I don't like is that because Oprah and Tyler Perry have amassed this large amount of success, it's almost as if people think, Black people think they're untouchable. You don't say nothing bad. No, if you do some foul-ish, you're going to get called out. Like, I'm not into that worshiping people. I don't worship people. Everybody is human, okay? Subject to make mistakes. You know what I mean? You're capable of making mistakes. You're not perfect. You're not a perfect being. You're not untouchable. So I don't care if your name was Oprah Winfrey. I don't care if your name was Tyler Perry. You do some foul stuff and somebody is offended and hurt by your actions, or your actions stop, in Monique's case, stop her bags. Yeah, if she could get on stage and cuss you out, that's the least that you can expect. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Hopefully Monique is healing and she's past it. Her and Lee Daniels are on the up and up. Whether he said sorry so that they can make money together, it is what it is. But I just wish Monique nothing but success. She is deserving of her flowers and her accolades. She is a hardworking woman. She's very talented. Some may not like her, but that doesn't take away from the fact that she should be paid her dues, basically. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. So good luck to Monique. Good luck to Tyler Perry. Good luck to Oprah. Hopefully one day Oprah will see that Monique is hurt and hurt by what transpired on her show many, many years ago. You know, a lot of people like to tell people get over it. In some instances, yeah, you kind of have to get over it. But if I was Monique, I wouldn't expect don't expect anything from Oprah. But I wouldn't have nothing to say to her. And if I did see her, I would call her out just like she did. You keep doing you, Monique. You'll be all right. All right, y'all, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. Okay, drop down in the comments and share your thoughts about any of the topics that I discussed today. All right, today is Saturday, March 11th at the time that I am recording this. Don't forget to set your clocks 1 hour ahead. Your cell phones do it automatically. So if you wake up and you see your kitchen oven clock out of whack, just check your cell phone, because the cell phones, they do it automatically. Okay. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all I got. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Make sure, you keep checking the channel. I'm going to be uploading pretty much every day. Okay. Trying to stay on track, motivated. And I want to welcome all of the new royal family members over on YouTube. Welcome, everyone. Make yourself comfortable here. Be nosy, snoop around. Okay. And I think that's it. I don't think I have any more announcements. I'm telling you, that Tamika Scott situation really got me hot, y'all. Let me get out of here. I love you for watching. As always, until next time.